Hi, I'm Clara Miller. I'm the President and CEO of the Nonprofit Finance Fund. We provide growth capital in the form of loans. We provide advice, nonprofit business analysis to help nonprofit organizations, social enterprises, others optimize their enterprise and scale in many cases. We have a 25-year history of doing this, although I've learned about what the particular need and problem was that we're dealing with over a period of 25 years. And I think one of the early and best examples was we're an intermediary, so we borrow in many cases or work with funders, government, banks, and we lend or place the money with not-for-profits. And so for years and years we did work only on facilities, and we would do training and technical assistance to try to help build the capacity of the people inside nonprofits to do building maintenance, typically in boys and girls clubs or very facilities-intensive organizations. And there was a legendary grant maker who made grants to youth-serving organizations only for bricks and mortar, who had as a habit to call me up from time to time and say, you know, I thought you people were supposed to be doing maintenance training in these buildings. And so I'd say, oh yeah, we are. We are doing capacity building. And then he'd say, well, I was just over at Kips Bay Boys Club and, you know, didn't do water treatment on the boiler and the whole thing's gone to hell. And, oh, geez, you know, I thought you people were supposed to be doing something about this. And so I'd say, oh gosh, you know, how could we have gone wrong? So this happened a couple of times. So I got ready, and sure enough, he calls up and he says, Clara, you know, there's a dead pigeon in the drains at Kips Bay now, and you know, it's backed up and the dance floor's ruined, you know, why aren't you people doing something about this? And so I was ready that time, so I said, you're right. Technical assistance and capacity building doesn't work. And it doesn't work because you keep rewarding not doing preventive maintenance by funding emergency grants. And inadvertently what you're doing is making it so there's a strong incentive for a management behavior we all agree is not the one we want. And if the executive director is simply reacting to his or her business conditions. And to his credit, he said, okay, what do we do to solve that? So on the one hand, we're dealing with a capitalization problem and a capital need and a need to understand how to optimize business aspects or skill sets. But on an even more fundamental level, I think we're talking about how to change the habits of the sector to be more enterprise friendly, to understand that it's the enterprises that support these missions over the long run. And there are certain rules and processes we can glom onto to help us. How do we know we have succeeded, or when have we succeeded? I think the best one is an example of an after-school provider in Boston that had actually gotten into trouble with growth. They were fabulously successful. They were doing work with early childhood, and they were expanding based on government contracts into other markets. And as they grew, they got more and more revenue, but they weren't able to build the back office fast enough to actually get reimbursed for the work they were doing for the government. So while they had all this potential revenue and they were providing services and expending money for it, they weren't getting the actual cash in the door. And what we were able to do was to lend them money when the banks were all backing away from them because they were having obvious business problems, that essentially provided them the cash and also the insights into their business model so that they could succeed. And before we knew it, they had 5 banks bidding for their business who were much better priced than we are and had much bigger amounts of money available. So to us, it's painful from a commercial point of view to graduate one of those wonderful borrowers, but from an enterprise point of view, from a mission point of view, it's great. So at any rate, what's NFF's future? We are in the process of not only focusing and scaling our direct business, which would be consulting with nonprofit organizations about their business needs and their enterprises, and also financing them, which we're doing with a diversity of products, but also starting to intentionally advocate to the field about a whole range of changes in the way we do our business financially that will in fact prevent capacity problems before they happen. That's, you know, that then becomes a bigger agenda that's not just about deal by deal. It's about, you know, it's not nursing sick malaria patients one by one, it's about draining the swamps too. And of course, personally, I'm the classic founder director, and we have to focus on succession planning. I know. So, thank you.